Bullish HEX value forecast is $0.057407046 to $0.307298740. HEX, HEX, cost could likewise reach 50 cents soon. Bearish HEX cost expectation for 2022 is $0.02927358841. In HEX, HEX, cost forecast 2022, we use measurements, cost designs, RSI, Rival, and other data about HEX to break down the future development of the digital currency. HEX, HEX, current market status. As per CoinGecko, the cost of HEX, HEX, is $0.0479425 with a 24-hour exchanging volume of $8,891,694 at the hour of composing. In any case, HEX has diminished by almost 0.1% as of now. What is HEX, HEX? HEX is an ERC20 token. It was sent off in 2019, by Richard Hart, to supplant endorsements of store, which are used in conventional monetary business sectors. HEX is intended to be utilized as a store of value. And HEX use confirmation of POS, POA, rather than evidence of work, POW. POA is a great representation of keeping solace to acquire later. HEX holders can stake clumps of HEX tokens for foreordained time frames, similarly as customary discs give a better financing cost to buyers who consent to leave a strong mass store unopened for a foreordained time frame. They can't get to those tokens during this time without encountering extreme punishments, however, after the apportioned time span has elapsed. HEX holders will actually want to get HEX prizes. HEX, HEX, value expectation 2022. The above graph of HEX, HEX, spread out the dropping channel, otherwise called the falling channel. A sliding channel is framed by two equal trend lines. The upper trend line, which joins the highs, and the lower trend line, which joins the lows, run parallelly downwards. This example is the trait of a negative market. At present, HEX, HEX, is in the scope of $0.049916085. On the off chance that the example proceeds, the cost of HEX could arrive at the opposition levels of $0.052168434 and $0.073771531. On the off chance that the pattern switches, the cost of HEX might tumble to $0.03838333018. The outlines show that HEX, HEX, has played out a bullish pattern over the course of the last month. On the off chance that this pattern proceeds, HEX could run alongside the bulls, surpassing its obstruction level at $0.307298740. In like manner, assuming the financial backers betray the crypto, the cost of HEX, HEX, could fall to nearly $0.02927358841, a negative sign. HEX, HEX, value expectation 2022, Rival, Mama, and RSI. The relative volume, RVOL, of HEX, HEX, is displayed in the outline beneath. It is a mark of how the ongoing exchanging volume has changed throughout some stretch of time from the past exchanging volume. As of now, the RVOL of HEX lies beneath the end line, showing powerless members in the latest thing. Likewise, the moving normal, Mama, of HEX, HEX, is displayed in the graph above. Prominently, the HEX, HEX, cost lies under 50 Mama, present moment, so it is in an upturn. At present, HEX has entered a bullish state. In this way, there is plausible of an inversion pattern of HEX whenever. In the meantime, the general strength record, RSI, of the HEX is 47.96. This implies that HEX, HEX, is in an oversold state. Notwithstanding, this implies a significant value inversion of HEX might happen in the forthcoming days. Along these lines, brokers need to painstakingly exchange. With everything taken into account, from the graphs above, obviously HEX's negative pattern proceeds and it is feasible to turn over and arrive at extraordinary levels. Besides, the graphs show that HEX has played out a bullish pattern throughout the last month. On the off chance that this pattern proceeds, HEX could run alongside the bulls, overwhelming its opposition level at 35 cents. Examination of HEX with BTC, ETH. The beneath diagram shows the cost examination between Bitcoin, BTC, Ethereum, ETH, and HEX, HEX. From the above graph, we can decipher that the value activity of HEX is like BTC. This shows that when the cost of BTC expands, the cost of HEX increases. When the cost of BTC decreases, the cost of HEX declines. HEX, HEX, value forecast 2023. In the event that the declining cost activity totally dials back in force and the pattern turns around, HEX, HEX, could presumably achieve $1 by 2023. HEX, HEX, value forecast 2024. With a few updates in the organization, HEX, HEX, could enter a bullish direction. Assuming the coin gets the notice of significant financial backers, HEX could energize to hit $3 by 2024. HEX, HEX, value expectation 2025. In the event that HEX, HEX, supports significant opposition levels and keeps on being perceived as a superior venture choice among the financial backers for the following 7 years, HEX would revitalize to hit $5. HEX, HEX, value forecast 2026. If HEX, HEX, supports significant opposition levels and keeps on being perceived as a superior venture choice among the financial backers for the following 4 years, HEX would energize to hit $7. HEX, HEX, value expectation 2027. On the off chance that HEX, HEX, supports significant opposition levels and keeps on being perceived as a superior venture choice among the financial backers for the following 5 years, HEX would energize to hit $9. HEX, HEX, value expectation 2028. HEX, HEX, holds up areas of strength for and as a superior speculation choice for the following 6 years in the midst of the patterns in the exceptionally unpredictable crypto market. By driving critical cost rallies, HEX would hit $11 in 2028. HEX, HEX, value forecast 2029. Assuming that financial backers run in and keep on putting down their wagers on HEX, HEX, it would observe significant spikes. HEX could hit $13 by 2029. HEX, HEX, value expectation 2030. With more prominent progressions in the essential consideration token ecosystem, the crypto local area could keep on putting resources into HEX for the following 8 years and drive critical cost